Sure, I'll start. My name's Chris Daniels. I'm a senior security engineer for a Methodist hospital system in Nebraska. I've taught at the University of Nebraska doing cybersecurity. I've also done it for the United States Strategic Command as the network defense ops chief there. I've been doing it for a little over 10 years now. But before this, I was a mechanic. Also worked as I was in the Air Force loading airplanes. So anybody can do anything and then break into this field.
Yeah, Mike's got the mic. Yeah, so yeah, I'm Mike Curnow. I've been doing cybersecurity for a bit. I've touched a lot of things regarding offensive pen testing, CM engineering, and SOC architecture, and listen to podcasts.
Offensive pen testing, CM engineering, and SOC architecture.
So this is like my second ever podcast of any kind. Oh no, is my audio dead? No.
I can hear her now. I can hear her, but I.
Okay, so all right, audio's good. I don't know. That echo was intense. Oh. Nope, still there. Test? Okay, much better. Can everybody hear me? Awesome. So I'm Nia Lucky. I work up at, before COVID, I was up at RTP campus, building 2. So I support you. Oop, there's that go again.
Yeah, I can hear the echo.
Oh. I don't know. Can you guys still not hear me?
I hear Nia.
I will try and keep talking.
I think getting the 4 of us together was too much for the internet to handle.
Okay. So long and short, hopefully anybody can hear me. I don't know. Yes. Terrible echo. Oh. No, I think it's gone. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's like a bad Verizon commercial.
And there's the echo. CMC, we were doing really good before you got on the call.
Here. Would it help
what you're saying is we can blame Mike
for this? Oh yeah, it might be somehow. Here, let me. I'm gonna hop out for a second, and then I'll hop back in. And oh, I don't hear myself echoing anymore.
I don't either.
But now I can't hear Alyssa.
I can't hear Alyssa at all.
No.
So it's Alyssa's fault.
I don't know if I can hear Chris either. I just saw his mouth.
We can just do this without her. I
didn't-
mean,
Okay,
I
I
can
can't
hear both of you.
Oh my god. I
and
can
Mike?
hear only you. And not Chris.
This is amazing.
Um
This makes me feel a lot better about WebEx. No.
I can
Yes,
hear you now.
we can hear you, but the echo's back.
Is it
Oh no, it's gone. Wait.
I don't hear an echo.
That was better. We're good. We're good.
yeah. I think. Does someone have the video playing next to them? The live stream or
No, I don't have it open.
okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Test.
Something.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
All right, guys. It's happening. I don't want to do the intro again.
Round two.
Round 2. Isn't this like round 3? Okay. Nia, why don't you introduce yourself to the world?
So I'm Nia Lucky. I work up at RTP with Cisco. Well, at least I did before COVID. Now I work 100% remote from right here. I manage the Security Operations Center for the U.S. Public Sector. And this is my second ever podcast.
And it's going so smoothly, isn't it?
It's making me feel a lot better about WebEx. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's amazing. Oh my god. Okay.
It's funny.
I mean, it's a live stream, right? I mean, it's like, it's a live stream. It's not pre-recorded, so people understand, right? You guys all understand. Our audience understands.
It's supposed to be a little messed up.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like this. All right. Anyway, okay. So this is Raw, Night TV Raw. I'm gonna change it from Night TV Live to Night TV Raw. That sounds more like a wrestling thing, but okay. So what this episode is about is, like I said in the intro, how to break into the cybersecurity industry, especially if you're not working in cybersecurity currently. This is a question that gets brought up a lot to me. Either through DMs on Twitter or messages on LinkedIn. Let's just talk this out. Let's provide some guidance. I think actually, did all three of you come from a completely different background besides cybersecurity? And Nia, what did you do in the military? Before this, you were in the military, right?
I did 13 years in the military. I did ground-to-air radios. For anybody that's not from an Army background, if you are 25 series, so uniform. But no, again, nothing to do with this industry. What got me into this industry was the information assurance world and trying to kind of apply that to what I was doing for the help desk side. But outside of that, not what I do now.
Wow. Well, what made you want to do it? Like, what was the was it a movie? Was it the movie Hackers? Like, what was like, okay, I need to be in cybersecurity. I need to work there.
It made sense in a way that a lot of other people I worked with, it didn't make sense. The security side of it. So everybody I worked with was really talented, but really good at networking. And I actually failed my first certification twice.
Wait, which was it the CISP?
No, I failed. Well, I failed that one too. But I failed Network Plus twice, and then I passed Security Plus on my first go.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's what kind of solidified it for me, and I knew instantly that I would make at least double that on the outside.
What did you struggle? What did you struggle with in those exams? Like, what was your area that was the most challenging for you?
Networking is just not my jam.
Oh, really?
Not my jam.
Three-way handshake.
Security, cybersecurity, the way data flows, the way critical asset lists are built, all of that makes sense.
Yeah.
But ports, protocols over ports, all like no.
German.
You don't want me building the back end of your Linux server, I promise. Okay.
That's amazing.
Just gonna
Yeah, why is Apache running on port 31337? That's amazing. Cool. Okay. Well, what about you, Chris? What was your foray into cybersecurity? Oh dear God! Please don't tell me you have audio problems again. Please tell me your mute button is just on.
My mute button was pushed. I was just messing with you.
I am officially canceling this live broadcast if we have audio problems again. I'm not.
I just had to mess with you a little bit.
Yeah. Try and give me a heart attack.
So every job I did, I kind of got pushed into the computer role. Even when I was loading airplanes for the Air Force, I knew how to do spreadsheets and stuff pretty well. So when I got out of the military and I went to college, I pushed towards that direction. I figured I could do the best with computers. I didn't think I was going to get into security. Back then, it wasn't a real big area. It was all information assurance. I started off on a help desk, and I got kind of lucky. I got into a program that brought me up to Nebraska to work for the Strategic Command, and I just happened to get put in that section. So for me, it was a stroke of luck that really got me into the field.
So the military actually put you in your first cybersecurity role.
Yeah, I was working as a civilian for them. Yep.
So what was the job responsibility? Was it like vulnerability scanning? Was it like?
It was a network defense operator. So we managed the entire network stack as the team. We had a network defense operations center. We worked hand in hand with the network operators, and depending on where you were in your time there, you'd be managing the IPS, the IDS, the SIM, the TAPs, all of those parts together, and then we did our incident response from there. So I got to jump right into pulling hard drives and doing evidence tags and watching all these really smart people do amazing things, and it made me want to learn more and more as soon as I saw what it was about.
Yeah, but like before you actually got into it, so Mike is having audio problems. Mike, you can't hear? Oh man, I can't hear.
So I can hear everyone but Chris.
Probably just has to turn the volume up.
You're not wanting me to hear Chris.
That's weird.
I can't hear Mike either.
You can't hear
I'm
Mike.
trying to read.
Yeah, the cloud doesn't like us today. I have to figure this stuff out. I can hear all of you just fine, so I think as long as you two don't talk to each other. You guys are not allowed to talk to each other. I guess that's the way the universe wants it. Chris, can you hear Nia? And Nia, can you hear Chris? That's so strange. Okay, Mike, we're going to have to be your proxy between you and Chris. All right, well, yeah, so Chris, like before you actually started in a role though, but I mean, was there anything that interested you or excited you about security? Or like, was that the first time you ever heard about anything with cybersecurity when they placed you in that role?
In that capacity, when I actually got to see what they did, that was my first introduction to something of that scope. But I had always been interested. I was doing small bits of security without realizing it, working on GPOs and trying to make sure things we were deploying, certain laptops were secure. I was working bits and pieces of it, and I was really excited about it. And you were making a joke earlier, like, what made you want to do this? The movie Hackers. And that did. I was always wondering how that stuff worked out. Now that I know, when I watch the movie, I'm all like, oh,
you're like, this is so technically inaccurate.
Yeah.
I'm hacking the password file.
Yeah, and they're excited about a 28.8. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I always wanted to know how that stuff happened, but I could never really figure out where to go. There was no roadmap back then on, hey, do these things and you can break into cybersecurity. And in every shop that I'd been in, every help desk environment, those security guys were always over there behind that door. Nobody could see them. Nobody could talk to them, and you didn't know what they did. So it was until I got to go behind that door back in late 2009, 2010 time that I could see what was all available to learn and how to start learning it and how to evolve in the career. But I had always been really interested in, how do people break into things? How does this stuff happen? I did a little bit of script kiddies type stuff before I really started learning.
Yeah. Now it's interesting to me. I think people's story of coming into cybersecurity, every story is unique. Every story is different, whether it was a Hollywood movie or like you know, current employer had you doing little bits of cybersecurity here and there, or those who just fell into it, experimenting and, you know, at 13 and, you know, hacking a network and getting caught. Like everyone has a different story of how they got into cybersecurity. Mike, what's your story? What's the story behind you? Other than not being able to hear Chris.
Funny thing, I pumped open the YouTube live so that I can try and catch what he was saying, and I hear everything fine. However, it's really late. There's a delay.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So I think it was kind of a culmination of things. I can probably trace back a few memories that all end up coalescing over time into this interest, but the easiest way is to illustrate it is when I left the military, I didn't have a great didn't exactly have like a great roadmap, and so I ended up capitalizing off of some skills that I already had. Like I had been doing web development for like as a hobby for a long time, and ended up just you know it's like a snowball effect, right? Just kept doing more and more stuff there, getting bigger projects, start doing actual.
So straight up like raw HTML development, like none of this WordPress drag and click stuff.
Yeah, and well, because the asks would keep getting more. It's like, oh, I gotta learn PHP.
Yeah.
And so I learned
JavaScript.
PHP, and like, okay, now I can work in WordPress, Joomla, Expression Engine, really a lot of web development stuff, and then eventually that moved on to software engineering for a financing company. They had it was a brokerage software where you would it existed essentially as an e-commerce payment platform option where you'd have lenders on one side and customers on the other side that want to use that lending. So there's this whole process of matching, checking, all that kind of stuff. And so I wrote API scripts and modules for probably like 3/4 of every e-commerce platform you can think of. And so during that time of writing all this API code and testing, you know, setting up the test benches so that I can try in Magento 2, setting up CS car, stuff like that, and having to actually do these myself. I started to realize these little holes in the armor, these little idiosyncrasies in the way one platform would do things versus the way another one. I'm like, if I was a really shitty person, I can use this script to just batch all this payment info into an array and just send that out to my own server somewhere. And these little things started popping off in my head over time. And so I was like, hey, this is a whole career field. Maybe I should start making the pivot into it. And I didn't have, I didn't come at it from this very credentialed starting point, right? So I was like, I like it.
Credentialed, like you mean certifications, starting out with a ISSP?
Yeah, I found a thing, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go for it. I did some studying. I tried to understand the overall picture of security, starting from the cybersecurity framework, what the tenets and ethos are, essentially, and what the solutions put in place are now. And I felt that the easiest way, not the easiest way, but the easiest way for me was to start off with pen testing, right? And because I already knew how what most web applications work, especially if they're on LambStack, because I've been working on that for a certain period of time before this. And so, I had a hard time trying to find work because it's kind of a hard sell when you're coming from development. And sure, you kind of bring this unique, view on stuff because you're working on the software side of things. But at the same time, it's hard to kind of map this somewhere. So I ended up starting. I just spun up an LLC with me and a friend of mine, and it was a consulting firm. My friend was a pretty accomplished engineer at Deutsche Bank at the time, and so we had two smart guys that were figuring this stuff out together. And we ended up spending a lot of time. A lot of time studying. We ended up putting stuff into practice. We ended up getting a few pen tests. Eventually nobody asks questions if you have your own company, and that's on your resume. But you've got to actually build the skills necessary, though, right? So from there, it really just became. I like the idea of doing the offensive side of the pen test, but I still have that inner engineer in me that wants to create solutions. So for me, pen testing is kind of like a fun. The offensive side is like a fun thing that when engagement like that comes up, like it's awesome, right? Like let's do it. But now I like kind of bridging these two loves that I have and trying to create scalable solutions. That for one make my job a hell of a lot easier, and then for two can make other people's jobs a hell of a lot easier. So
yeah. I want to apologize to the audience. Yeah, it looks like everyone is still hearing an echo. Do you guys hear an echo when you guys are talking?
No.
No? Okay, but the audience is hearing one. All right. Guys, I apologize. I don't know what's going on with the audio today.
I think all of the audience's audio is messed up. I think we're fine. They're all just
for some reason. It's the audience. It's all your guys' fault. It's not ours. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try and fix this. So if everyone gives me a moment, sorry. We will eventually fix this. Controls on, you can hear the output to the Mr. Pro Stereo. I think I might know what's wrong. Okay, does this fix it? Can all of you guys say something?
I don't hear an echo from you.
Okay.
I don't hear an echo.
Whoa, I heard Chris's voice for like a second. Like it's got this tiny bite of his voice.
Hey, Chris,
and then
something?
that was him.
But you can't hear him again?
No.
Okay.
Okay, audience, can you guys tell me if you guys can still hear an echo? Nia, keep talking.
Okay.
YouTube chat, LinkedIn audience, YouTube audience. Can you guys hear anything? Are you guys hearing an echo?
Anything?
You guys, yes, you guys are hearing an echo?
Uh-oh.
I'm not sorry. I was just kind of moving up and out of my chair.
Oh, okay. So everyone has an echo except me. Okay. Let me see here.
Yeah, I don't think any of the four of us are getting it, but they definitely are.
Okay, how about now? You guys can hear me?
There we go. You're back.
Yeah, okay. So this one will mute the individuals first in the stream. Okay. So this is really weird.
You have any echo from me now?
I just imagine you like sitting at your desk with this this like spaceship panel of buttons and stuff.
Dude.
Can you hear me? No. Oh, damn it.
Dude, if you knew, I'm going to be publishing a behind the scenes video in my studio. You guys have got, it looks like a TV studio panel in here. It's unbelievable. You won't believe how many buttons I have in here. It's not even funny. It looks like NASA Control Center. Okay, give me a minute. All right, live output from KnighTV Live. Device audio sent to rendezvous clients.
What's that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can all hear each other. Just everybody's hearing echo. Okay, audience, is the echo so bad that you can't even hear it, or is it all good? Like, can we continue with the echo, or does it make you want to take a spoon to your eyes?
That was bad.
Why is it that they're getting an echo for you guys, but not me? That is so wrong. That's not right. Okay, hold on one second.
It's like if you put your face in water and just started talking.
That's amazing.
I could just hear every other word that Mike said.
We can live with this echo problem. Please continue. It's fine for me. I was getting used to it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Wild Awake Vegas. Okay. All right.
But now we have the echo problem.
Shut the front door. You guys are hearing an echo now?
Oh, seriously, it's bad.
Don't lie. Now I created an echo for you guys? Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like you have a sound effect on. That's what it sounds
I
like.
just
It
want
sounds
to
like you
die
have an echo
now.
sound effect on.
All right, hold on. Let me go back to.
Are you okay there, Nia?
Oh dear God! I think I know what's wrong, guys. Hold on. Okay, do you guys hear an echo now?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone.
It's
right?
gone.
Is it gone? It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gone.
All right. Lokish says it's not you guys, it's us. Okay. Wild Awake Vegas, Lokish, Melly, RMAC, all of you. I apologize if there's still an echo. We got to move forward on this show. I will troubleshoot afterwards. I owe you guys all a beer. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can get used to the echo. Just like imagine it's some sort of dream. You're dreaming about us and it's echoey. All right. Cool. Thanks for the backdrop, Mike. So, okay, guys, look, this episode is about how can we guide people who are currently not in a cybersecurity role, maybe not even in IT, and guide them into moving into cybersecurity. I'll start. You guys can. It's my show. I'm starting first. No, just kidding. So look, I mean, for me, God, how did I come in? So mine was I started at BBS in Seattle. Yeah, I started getting in computers. I started gaming back when you actually needed to try and get games to run, like with boot disks, if you guys can remember boot disks. Auto exec bat files, config.sys, high mem equals to sys. And that's really kind of how I got a good memory. That's actually how I started out. And then got into the BBS scene, like you mentioned, 2400 baud modems, Oblivion, modded Renegade boards, upload download ratios. And, I got into phone freaking, building black boxes, blue boxes, banana boxes, phone losers of America kind of stuff. And it was cool. And that's kind of how I got, that's kind of how I'm sorry, I'm reading some of these comments. They're kind of funny. I kind of just got into it that way. Back when the internet was Prodigy and AOL, right? It was like, dial-up slip accounts, VT100. And that was my foray. My first job was, what was my first job? My first job was as a web designer. Thank you, Mike. And not thank you, Mike, because he was my employer, but thank you, Mike. You reminded me of what my first job was.
You're welcome.
It was actually writing raw HTML, before drag and drop, WYSIWYG editors. So it was an HTML. Somebody was teardropping my web server, and if you guys remember that. And it kept rebooting over and over. And I ran to Barnes & Noble trying to figure out what the hell to do. Got a book on Linux security, and that was it. So I started reading that book. And my first job was at Galatia, which was a web design company, as the server administrator. Like I was administering their, if you guys remember Solaris boxes, Sun Solaris boxes before. Yeah, I'm that old. I'm 41. I look a lot younger than I actually am. So yeah, I was managing their Sun Solaris boxes and got into like trying to figure out how to patch them and, setting up, what was it, IP chains at the time and all that fun stuff. And that was it for me. After that, my second job was actually in cybersecurity. And so, I think my recommendation, I guess my 2 cents would be, if you don't work in cybersecurity today and you work in a completely different field, and you guys can feel free to disagree with me here, but I think the best thing to do is just go grab the CBK to study for the CISSP without the intent of getting your CISSP. I mean, definitely try. I mean, if you're going to read it and memorize the CBK, then go test for the CISSP. But the CBK is like a mile wide and an inch thick, right? Teaches you about routing, teaches you about networking, teaches you about encryption and all the things, all the different domains of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, the CIA triad. Teaches you about all of these things that you need to be thinking about within security. And then once you get that and you go get your CISSP, you figure out what you want to do. You want to be a penetration tester? Then look at the Certified Ethical Hacker. Look at the OSCP. Now, I'm one of those people that doesn't believe that you should go through the certification mill. I don't think that you should go out there just to get the cert and have all these acronyms after your name. Because I've interviewed people with, and sorry, Nia, I'm going to say it, but every Cisco cert out there. And
I have 0.
There you go. And you're SOC manager for Cisco. But, it's like, to me, and this person had a CCNA, but they couldn't tell me what the headers of a packet were, Ethernet header, IP header, TCP header, UDP header, payload. They couldn't tell me any of that. And it's like, I just don't get it. So my thing is that go there and study for the specific exams to learn without the intent or sole focus of just getting the cert. I don't know. You guys chime in. Tell me, what do you think?
I love so much about that. I actually get a lot of scrutiny for my lack of actual industry certifications. Now, it's not for lack of trying. I'll be attempting CISSP again this year, but I failed last year. It's not an easy test, but I'm not out here trying to chase certs either. I want something that's going to elevate what I do, but round it out in a way that doesn't just benefit me, it benefits whoever hires me as well. That's just the way I see it. I do other things on the side, like I do take Cisco specific training, stuff like that. But for me, it's not about stacking out or cert chasing or any of that. If you don't have the soft skills to be able to communicate the problem, your stack of certs isn't going to help that either, is the way I see it. So for me, it's about kind of just focusing on one at a time. I commend some of my peers that have 5 to 6 different certifications, and good on them. But for me right now, it's about one at a time, and then getting the most value out of each one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. And there's a question here from Cybersecurity Weekly about whether or not a college degree in cybersecurity is important. I would say no. I think cybersecurity, and I'll follow up on yours, Nia, in a moment, but I think cybersecurity is one of those rare industries. Like, unlike being a lawyer, unlike being a doctor, you don't need an MD. You don't need to go to law school. Back when I was coming up in cybersecurity, you guys remember there wasn't always a degree in cybersecurity that you could get. It was a degree in MIS, a degree in computer science, and you had to learn how to program. There wasn't always.
And that's newer.
It is, yeah, and it's like, I mean, getting a degree in cybersecurity is like a new thing. This wasn't always a thing. I don't believe that getting a degree in cybersecurity is important. I think what's going to happen, and again, keep me honest here, but I think this is what's going to happen. You need the cert to get past the HR reps who have no idea what to look for except certifications. And then once you get into the interview, you need practical experience to be able to get through the interview questions. So I don't know about what you guys think about that, but you know, I don't think degrees are important. I don't think certifications are important unless you're trying to sort of, you know, give sort of some sort of credence to the interviewer, the recruiter, you know, someone trying to filter down and weed out the resumes. Mike, Chris, go.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so a lot of good stuff was said there.
You know, I got my degree after
that
but it wasn't
is
a
a
cybersecurity degree
right here. So is a
You guys are both
college
talking at
degree
the
in
same time.
cybersecurity. I mean,
Can you hear me?
I would say.
Yeah. Hold on, Chris. I know
You guys are like talking over each other.
Yeah, Chris and Mike can't hear each other, everyone, so they don't know when someone is talking. So, okay, that was my fault. Mike, go, and then we'll go to Chris. Mike, go. Sorry, this is so lame. Sorry, everyone. I apologize, everyone. It's completely my fault. We're having IT issues. Mike. Go.
Yeah, sorry, Chris. I should have been looking at your camera, but yeah. So no, a lot of good stuff was said. I think that having a degree in that, I don't place a lot of, I don't know how to say, like, I don't put a lot of credit behind it, I guess. It sounds kind of like bad in a general sense, but because I've done technical interviews for where I work now, and we you know, like not just now, but in other places as well, and you know, typically I'm running the technical side of the interviews, and you get someone who's got a master's degree, or I had a couple people that had bachelor's degrees in cybersecurity, and there's like maybe one master's. Everyone that you can think of, but a doctorate. And the best interviewee that I ever had in my entire life was a young dude who had been an analyst at like a pizza chain or something for like a year and a half.
A pizza chain?
Yeah, because you know the security operations centers, I guess there too, because they handle, you know, sensitive data and whatnot. Got to protect the pizza recipes. But yeah, you know, I was I found that really interesting because he was just a guy that was really dedicated, and this was a, you know, this wasn't just like a thing that he kind of plugs in and punches out each day. It's something that's just part of him that he studied, and he made that very apparent when we tested. He actually got he scored higher than I think the CEO did on this practice test.
Oh wow!
I say that you can take what you can from that. It was just kind of the way that we do the interviews is, you know, technical and scoring and all that, but. Yeah, and I don't think anybody else really came close to him within a reasonable margin now. So I would say, yeah, what you said is very true for the most part. That for one, Nia's method of, if you're going to do it, you know, doing it one at a time. You know, like it's like Ron Swanson says, try and, you know, don't half-ass two things, try and whole-ass one thing. Just do it when it fits. I think the one thing, because, you know, like being that, like I had just recently started a family, the last thing I'm thinking about is your certs. I don't care about your certs.
Yeah,
I care about making cool shit that protects people. That's
well,
it.
there you go, audience. Like there is a hiring manager right there telling you that he doesn't care about your certs. I think, and you know what? I really believe that the cybersecurity managers, the cybersecurity leaders out there, who get it, are not going to really care about your certs or your cybersecurity degree. They're going to care about what you can do for them. What can you do for me? Can you go out there and harden those applications? Can you go out there and harden that MS SQL server? Can you go out there and harden that system? That's what they're going to care about. Chris, go.
Okay. Sorry about that, Mike. In my last interview where I was being hired, I've been the hiring manager for some of those things. And I didn't look at certs, and I especially didn't look at degrees.
Those things don't matter to me. What you said hit it right on the head. What can you do for me? But I also look for the people skills. I look for communication abilities, how they blend culturally with that organization. When I applied for the position I'm in now, that they liked that I had a certification, but in talking to the team I work with afterwards, they said the reason that they really hired me was that I could talk about every single thing that they brought up. I could put something into a context and explain why I would do something a specific way. I showed that if I didn't, and I didn't try to be something I wasn't. If there was a certain topic I wasn't 100% on, I would say, I'm not 100% sure without, looking at some cliff notes real quick, but I'm pretty certain it's this and this, and here's how you do.
The echo back.
Yeah, I hear the echo too.
I like your timeout. Yeah, that's great.
I don't know if it's someone's feedback. It's almost like someone's got a microphone in the room, and I don't know. Maybe if we all just kind of
Now it's on.
Yeah, it's whenever Chris talks. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. Maybe all of our audio problems are Chris's fault.
I have all my.
No, I did just I did pop open the YouTube live again just so I could try to listen.
Unplugged.
Were you the Echo MC? Because you had YouTube live open.
It's one of you guys.
I don't see why that would happen, but that could be the reason.
So
maybe it's been him this whole time. Okay, so
is it still there?
No, we're good now.
We're good now. It was Mike. So MC is late to the live broadcast, and he's the one causing the echoes. Thanks, MC.
I mean, what else am I good at?
We still love you, MC. We still love you. Okay, Chris, go. Finish your. Maybe you should just start that all over again because of MC.
Okay, I can do that.
MC, go stand in a corner. Go stand in a corner. Sorry. I love you. Stop it. Okay, go, Chris.
I've been the hiring manager, and I don't look for the degree. And I think this might take a shot at some of the companies that's out there, but I think if you're going to work for a company and they're requiring that degree, you probably don't want to work for them. If that's what their baseline of, this is what we're going to do, you have to have a degree to do it, and you have all the knowledge and abilities to do whatever that position is working for. You probably don't want to work for them anyway. It's not the culture you want to promote, because what you're going to find in a place like that is a bunch of people with a lot of certifications, a lot of degrees that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We've all seen that over and over again.
Yeah, like all the acronyms after their name. It's like you guys ever get those emails? You guys ever get those emails from somebody that they have like 10 certs after their name and their email signature takes up like half the freaking page? It's like,
the alphabet soup. It's like they're trying to compete with doctors on how many extra things they can get behind their name.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So Chris, what do you? Okay, and I want each one of you to weigh in on this. Like, Chris, what do the people out there do who don't have work experience in cybersecurity and want to move into cybersecurity? They don't have any certs. They don't have any experience. What is their first step? But they want to get a job in cybersecurity. So it's kind of like that whole double-edged sword, right? I don't have work experience to get a cybersecurity. You need experience to get the job, but you need... Okay, Nia, go first.
Find a nonprofit.
Ooh.
There's tons. I run, I'm the president of one, and I am the chapter lead of Eastern Carolina for a Women in Tech nonprofit as well. So find yourself a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is cybersecurity affiliated. Try and do what you can to volunteer to get the experience on your resume. And then do that until you get your foot in the door. That's how I got mine. That's how I got my break.
That's amazing.
So
that's a great idea. I didn't think about that. That's a great idea. It's a great idea.
That's my little nugget.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, the hiring manager isn't going to care whether or not you even got paid in your last job where you got that experience, just that you've got the experience.
There's two ways. There's two ways that I would say going about doing it. One, if you can afford depending on what you're doing in your life now, if you can afford a pay cut, find a help desk job somewhere. Tier 1, you're doing the very basics, password changes. You're just going to be doing that basic computer support stuff. That starts to build that knowledge, and then you're going to meet somebody like a Mike that can't hear me, or a Nia who has those ends to the other places, or Alyssa. And if you start at that entry level, you can start building that network of people and that little bits of knowledge. The other thing I'd recommend is if you can afford a decent computer, if you can afford a decent MacBook Pro, 32 gigs of RAM, PC with 32 gigs of RAM, and then just start looking up videos and start practicing.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I do want to make it, because I know you guys can all attest to this. There was no such thing as a live hacking distro like 15, 20 years ago. There's no you couldn't download Hack Me Bank or those purposely vulnerable APIs that you can download. There was no such thing as that. If you wanted to practice hacking on something, either you had the money to buy jail. Yeah, you practiced on someone else's network without their permission. So you make a good point, Chris. Like your work experience, your experience doesn't have to be at an organization like a 501c3 or a corporation. It could be in your home network. It could be in a container. It could be in a Docker container. It could be in a virtual machine. It could be in a VMware environment. It could be, as long as you know how to do what is going to be expected of you in that job. And there's a lot of hiring managers out there, and you guys can disagree with me, but there's a lot of hiring managers out there that are specifically setting out to look for the people without the work experience, but know how to do it and learned and taught themselves, because they know that they're going to be hungry. They know that they're going to be hungry to learn. They're going to be hungry to do what it takes. And, they're going to work their ass off. And, and those are the people that they're going to be searching at. And also they can get them cheap, right? Somebody who has no work experience in cybersecurity isn't going to be demanding $125K a year.
That's
they would be.
Yeah, true. All right, Mike,
when they know their worth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But the other thing that also helps me. That also helps me in my interview, because I have. It's taken me years to build up, but I have a pretty decent home lab now. So when I see a new exploitability or exploit or new vulnerability that can be exploited in the wild, I can go look that up. I can go replicate it on my network and see what it looks like. And if I do that in my lab, and I've done that with my lab, and it wasn't that expensive to get it up and running, I could go in and talk about it. And I talk about specific things I'm doing in my lab with VMware and with networking and using pfSense as a firewall and IDS and IPS. I could talk about all those things and how I do it, figure out, if I do this, I can mitigate XYZ.
Yeah. Well, it also let me touch on that for real quick, because it's true. Building a lab today, a home hacking lab today, is way cheaper than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, how much was it per meg to buy a hard drive, guys? Like, it was what, $40 a meg to when you bought a hard drive?
It was
insane. And now, like, you can buy a freaking 1 terabyte SSD on Amazon for what, $200 or something like that? It's insane. Like, it's so cheap to build a home lab now. Mike, what about you? What's your weigh-in on this?
Okay, so how to get in? Yeah, it's actually funny enough, I was just asked that question today. A friend of mine, he's full stack dev for a financing company, and he was telling me, he's like, "Hey, Mike, I've got this friend that he's trying to get into cybersecurity, and he's been doing a lot of bug bounties on BugCrowd."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, well, that's a really good start." Because he means he's confident enough after whatever kind of self-training that he's done. Here's another thing too. I love self-training. I happen to kind of learn things pretty quickly for the most part. So I've always been of the mindset that I'll learn the thing when the need arises to learn that thing, and then I'm pretty good at it. Pretty good to do that thing later on. But so this guy is doing bug bounties and whatnot. He's trying to figure out the next steps. He's like, I've done like a bunch of things. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what people want to see. And he hit that double-edged sword like you were talking about. I don't have experience to get the job. I need a job to have experience. And I was like, dude, I don't know. Have them start doing some. Have them start doing some coding studying, right? So like doing Python courses through codecademy.com. Meaning, he goes, the reply I got was, I didn't even think you need that for security. I'm like, well, you don't, but it's a differentiator.
Yeah,
Because if he's trying to get into security from an offensive side, one thing that I like to see in pen testers is the ability to automate and manage at some abstract layer some iterative and repetitive processes, whether it's in your information gathering stages or planning out your attacks. Like maybe you can script something to automate scans on a certain thing, or I don't know, something that just makes your job easier. Because if you're a security professional, if you're, let's just say that you're a pen tester like this guy is, and you can codify some of your very iterative processes that you repeat, then that to me says, okay, this guy can be pretty efficient, and like in that time they can be doing other stuff, or not. I don't know. I think that's a good way, because this guy was like a I don't know much about this guy's background, but it was from the perspective that this guy's completely outside of security, but then self-taught to a point where he's confident enough to complete these different bug bounty objectives on Bug Proud, which I've done Bug Proud. It's interesting and it's fun, but it's not something that I would want to spend a lot of time doing.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
You've got to have the discipline. Yeah, you've got to have the discipline to continue that.
Yeah, hey, now I want to make it clear, because a lot of people don't know this, but so Casey Ellis and I know each other, and I actually had him on my show, and one of the things that he did mention was there's super hunters out there that are making over $1 million a year finding bugs. Like what? Like millionaire. Like people are becoming millionaires off of freaking doing bounty hunting. Like it's insane. Like back in the open disclosure days of BugTrack, SecurityFocus.com, like you weren't selling vulnerabilities you found. You just hoped you weren't getting sued, like it's just, it was a different day. Now you're being paid massive amounts of money for vulnerabilities you find. It's crazy. But Mike, you bring up a good point. There's so many free resources out there right now. Like 20 years ago, there was no securitytube.net. There wasn't, there wasn't even YouTube, so now, my advice to you out there, if you're wanting to get into cybersecurity, like a lot of the things that really bothers me today is there's a lot of, and I'm not going to get into this, is this a millennial thing? Is this a generational thing? Look, back in my day, 20 years ago, if I wanted to learn how to do something, I went out there and I read it and I taught myself, and you put in the grit. You read what you need to read. You downloaded white papers. You downloaded whatever you could do. Nobody spoon-fed you this stuff. And like I get people on Twitter, not my followers, I love you guys. I get people on for you 70,000 followers out there, I'm not talking about you. No, I get people that DM me and like, hey, Alyssa, can you mentor me? Can you teach me how to get into cyber? Like, dude, no, like, I love you. Thanks for reaching out to me. I'm glad you want to do this, but you need the fuego yourself. Go out there and find it, learn it, read it. Like no one's gonna hold your hand. Like no one's gonna fish for you, like, I mean, I can give you some links, securitytube.net, or I can tell like help you ask the questions like, what is it you actually want to do in cybersecurity? Like, do you want to be blue team, red team? Do you want to be a SOC analyst? Do you want to be a pen tester? What kind of pen tester? I mean, there's all these questions you need to answer for yourself, and then you need to go out there and research it. We have so much data available to us now. There's so much, like there wasn't even freaking google.com in 1994, 1993. There was no Google. You didn't Google it. I think there was Lycos it. I don't know. Like, what was it? Like Prodigy it or AOL it? Like, what did you do? There was nothing. Now you've got Google, you've got YouTube, you've got this, you've got the KnighTV show. You've got stuff like this. Like you've got stuff like go freaking learn it yourself. And then, if you have a specific question like Alyssa, And I got this question about like the Rogue BTS show. Yeah, I'll comment on that in a minute. There's, like, and you, okay, yes, you want to be a pen tester. Okay. You want to hack embedded systems. Okay. You want to hack connected cars. Okay. This is what you need to go look at. This is what you need to go learn, but hey, help me get in cybersecurity. Well, that's like what in cybersecurity? Mike, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I'm keeping apprised of the comments coming in.
Yeah, I'm looking on there. Hey, Cybersecurity Weekly, we see your questions and comments. Thanks for being so talkative. I'm catching up. Mike, go.
Yeah, so Cybersecurity Weekly brings up a good question. So if you as a security guy, if you're taking care of security governance, in other words, something like ISO 27001 for your organization, how would you add value to your skills or go to the next level?
I went to the BSI certified ISO 27001 lead auditor certification. Like you can get certified lead auditor certifications if you're looking for a cert. Mike, I'm sure you had a different, I mean, like risk assessments, like going to read ISO 27005, how to perform a risk assessment, looking at the different risk assessment frameworks. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the context of this, I'm going to answer it in more of a technical context here, I guess. So, because it sounds like the question is from the point of trying to move to a technical domain, I guess. And so ISO 27001, it's an organizational information standard, right? It's based around how you manage and secure your information management, right? So a good way of going around that, I think, is I don't remember what part of ISO 27001, but there are a few parts in there that talk about securing and monitoring your information management system. So in your information management system, from like a kind of very high eagle eye looking down view, it's just where you store your information. Are you using C file, Dropbox, etc.? Do you have the again, I would argue that using Dropbox for ISO is probably not the best thing to do, but it can be part of the process, right? So this idea, like I've architected SOCs that have to have consideration for ISO 27001, for HIPAA, for PCI DSS, some other standards too. And I would say a way to look at it is try to isolate the technical tenets of that security guideline. Again, I bring up SOC and monitoring a lot, so see if you can add value to the SOC team in some way that you can provide ways to make it work easier. Sorry, someone keeps texting me.
That's us. That's Chris and I talking about. Like, yeah, I think just build on that Cybersecurity Weekly. You like, are you talking about more in take on more of an operational role in ISO 27K audit? Like, are you talking about like doing more in audit work? So
yeah, I was confused by the question, which is why I didn't answer either.
Yeah, it's like risk assessment frameworks because there's like PASTA, or there's different threat modeling frameworks like PASTA or Microsoft Stride. Are you talking about that kind of stuff? Or are you like, you want to get?
Are you talking more like CMMC or like your crust modeling for maturity? Like what is the? I feel like there's so many directions we can go.
There is. I just figured I'd point out what to me is the most obvious mapping to getting into more technical domain, which would be looking at the guideline, going, okay, this is the part that says, this is the technical piece that says we have to monitor it. Maybe I can start, looking at stuff adjacent to what I'm doing now. So not just management, but maybe the other facets of the more technical side. So like looking at the SIEM we have. Are we using that big one? Are we using I don't know, whatever. I don't want to keep. I'll name drop, but I hate product name dropping.
It's okay. Just do it. Just do it. All right.
Yeah. So okay, so you know, for example, lots of big name CMs will have.
He's still refusing to do it.
He is.
Does it start with an S, Mike? Does it start
It
with
might.
an S?
I think it does.
Rhymed with sklump.
Okay.
They might have these plugins, right, that help you with certain compliances, and really it's just a refactoring of the data so that it can be used in a way that fits the use case of whatever that is. I don't know. It could be a lot of things. Just try and find technical parts in that stuff you're managing, and try and find
To
some way to
piggyback off of what I think Mike's trying to like go down to and answer it just from my perspective, right? So standing up a SOC is like no easy task. I've had to incorporate ISO, FedRAMP, NIST, all of that into one umbrella. And I think what's really saving me right now is if you look into, it's an acronym, I've already messed it up several times, but CMMC. And what it does is it crosswalks all the frameworks.
Oh, yeah,
But it parses out the technical stuff. So there's two parts of the workbook, and it's open download online. You just have to Google CMMC template, and it can crosswalk whatever frameworks apply to whatever operation center you're trying to stand up. So right now, that's what I'm using to leverage the SOC modeling I've already done and merge it with networking.
Sorry. I paid so much money for these stupid sound effects things that like I gotta use them. Chris, go.
Do you remember when you did that to me?
Yes, it was funny.
She introduced me with that sound.
Yeah,
That's
and I was like,
amazing.
oh my god,
I feel flattered now.
It's actually a positive thing on the Night TV show when you hear that. It's actually a positive.
So the question was around the risk management frameworks and like which one would we suggest? Is that it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, hey,
this reminds me
Cybersecurity
of,
Weekly, we need more clarification. We do not fully understand your question. But
We're
yeah,
overanalyzing your question.
This reminds me of a talk I heard earlier where a hacker was debating with a CISO.
Oh my God! Did you guys see that this morning? Oh my God! It was amazing. So Tanium had me on this hacker versus CISO showdown where I got into it was a one-on-one debate between a CISO and a hacker, and of course I was the hacker. It was amazing. It was amazing. If you missed it, you got to see it. The recorded version is going to be put up online. It was amazing. I think I won the debate, but anyway, go ahead.
Oh, easily.
Thanks for bringing that up. I'll pay you
easily
after the show.
But one of the topics you guys debated was about RMF frameworks, and what happens too many times is you pick a framework, it has a checklist. You go through the checklist. If you've completed the checklist, you go, aha, security complete. Checklist is done.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
And there are CISOs out there who still think like, oh, I got my PCI attestation. We must be secure. And then your target, then you totally get, hosed and breached their HVAC systems. But, it's, or, hey, I got my ISO 27001 attestation, my SOC 2 Type 2 attestation. I must be secure. Yeah.
Yeah, so
we use HTTPS.
Having an RMF gives you exactly what that last letter stands for. It gives you that framework. It doesn't really do much beyond that. You have to understand your systems. You have to understand the different. You have to threat model. You have to understand the different vulnerabilities in your environment. And if you don't go from there and take it beyond having a framework with a checklist, then you're already behind the curve. And if you don't think so, just watch that debate. She kind of tore him up with that part. That was great.
I agree.
Right. I see the same thing where I've seen that in companies. I saw companies that tested for 8 years that they were HIPAA compliant and found that they were massively uncompliant and breached.
Well, I don't know if you guys know much about the DSS, but I believe it wasn't until the most recent version of DSS where actual microsegmentation was required as part of PCI. I think it was before it was recommended. It was like it wasn't compulsory. Like you could get away with a flat network. Like you could have a flat network and get your PCI attestation. I don't think microsegmentation was required.
Yeah, I remember recently going through the
PCI
DSS requirements in preparation for an upcoming engagement, and I've never seen it, or I can't remember seeing it before, but now it's in there, making sure that there's segmentation between your CDE and all the stuff that's adjacent to it, and stuff that doesn't have to talk to it, and make sure nothing's sharing resources, stuff like that. Yeah, I think that might be a somewhat new thing. Hey, at least I was the first one that was using that.
Oh my god. Oh. I'm gonna miss being alive when I'm dead. I'm just gonna miss it. God's gonna be like, Alyssa, what'd you miss the most? All of it? I missed all of being alive. It was amazing. Anyway, right. So,
we should use that at the sound mishaps we were having earlier.
Go back and record over it with it.
Everyone's like, Alyssa, stop with the sound effects. Okay, well, I guess we better end the show because we've gone way over. All right, we're gonna do a round table thing. All right, one of our audience members is standing up in front of a microphone and is like, Obi-Wan Kenobis, what do I need to do to get into cybersecurity? I am currently an auto mechanic and I want to get into cybersecurity. I don't know what an IP is. I don't know what a packet is, but I want to be a cybersecurity engineer. I want to take better, I want to make more money. Nia, go. Close us out.
So I would suggest you play off the strength. So you're already a mechanic. That's awesome. Our industry is actually meet in the middle right now. So I would challenge you to go out there and research everything you can about the computer front end and back end of almost all the automobiles that we drive.
Oh, good point.
It's a great way to get into the industry, and it's a great way to learn how it applies to something that already makes sense to you.
Yeah, I agree. Mike.
It's a good question. There is a very wonderful cybersecurity firm based out of Detroit, Michigan, called Black Harbor Cybersecurity, and they specialize in cyber physical security, particularly in the automotive space. So securing all the cyber physical systems that OEMs and tier 1, 2, 3, whatever suppliers and supply chain use. So pretty much they do this thing where they would have live kind of group hackathons where you can join in person, actually come on the floor, and they have these fake kind of fake cars that have a ECU network, and it's all attached to a board, and you can work on trying to hack it, and you can come in remotely via Google and stuff like that.
Mike, I'm actually glad you brought that up because we need to mention that. We need to make sure people know. Get involved in hackathons. Get involved in what are those? Have you guys heard of those CCDC challenges? It's like cyber competition things that are typically run by universities and stuff like that. Get involved in CTFs. Oh my God, he's wearing a T-shirt for one. Yes, get involved in those. Those are huge. And they're free, and you're gonna find students and other people willing to teach you. Sorry, cut you off, Mike. Go.
No, you're fine. So I think being a mechanic is being a mechanic saying, hey, I want to be in cybersecurity. You may or may not realize that, but you're literally right next to the entire CAN bus network on the vehicle. So every time that you plug in the OBD2 connector and you're reading from the screen, these ECUs are flaring off for this reason, you can actually learn what those are and compare old car models to newer car models, and you'll see that the number of ECUs has drastically increased. Because we've been building towards this model of the self-driving car, which is still debatable because you have to drive the system around it. You can't just slap it on human stuff that uses human intuition to run. But anyways, yeah. So I think that's a good one. Check out. There's a book called Car Hacker's Handbook.
Oh God, who?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other
Car
one.
hack. Well, there's a couple of them, right? I think the car hackers handbook is a very good general one,
Yeah,
and you have to start reading some stuff about what it means, like IP address. Okay, I gotta look what that is. But it's pretty easy to follow for the most part. And then once you get into more of the higher level abstracted system functions that ECUs do, then we have an author in here that has a book. That would be good to pick up and read and expand your knowledge base too. So I think that's her book. Alyssa's book. Sorry, she's pointing at herself, and I just realized that.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah. So, Chris, someone who has no idea about cybersecurity, nothing at all, just sells vacuum cleaners right now. Doesn't know what a packet is. How does she get into cybersecurity?
So here's what one way I'll go about it. As a vacuum cleaner salesman, who do you hang out with?
Vacuums?
Yeah, vacuums and other vacuum cleaner salesmen. I used to be a mechanic before I got into this field. And who I hung out with was mostly mechanics. Well, with the way the internet and Twitter and everything is today, start hanging out with hackers. Start hanging out with cybersecurity experts.
Show me your friends, and I'll show you who you are. Great quote.
Exactly. So start hanging out with them and then start learning from them. And they can help you find a road in. Somebody will eventually help you find a break, where either it's an entry level or, hey, if you learned how to do this is something my company really needs right now. If you're hanging out with those people and you're having conversations with them, even if it's virtual, you're going to go that direction. You're going to start being interested in the things that they're interested in. You're going to start figuring out the things that they figure out. Like I said, back in the day, I hung out with a bunch of other car mechanics. Now I hang out with a bunch of hacker people, and I'm probably on a list somewhere where people are watching us. And it's probably one of the easiest ways to figure out what it's like in that industry. The other thing I would do is that core body knowledge you talked about, like CISSP.
Yeah.
Don't. The first thing I would do is I wouldn't read it, memorize it, but I would peruse it. And then when you find something that you're like, oh wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
Really dig into it. Really learn the ins and outs of it. What we end up with in the industry a lot right now is a bunch of people who are siloed as like a sysadmin. They can tell you, I click this button and it makes this tool do this. Well, how does that tool do that? Why does it do that? Why is it behaving?
Into the plumbing of it.
Yeah. Get into that. Find something of that excites you. Take it from how an engine and a transmission work together to how a router and a switch is working together, or a firewall. Find something like that really excites you, that will get you to dig into it. And then once you start doing that, I think you're just going to keep sliding down the path. And then you're going to be hanging out with people that are like, because I think everybody on here would agree. There is so much to know. There's no way any of us will ever know all of it, and even knowing a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, we can spend the rest of our lives, the rest of our professional careers studying it. I don't know what Mike was doing just now, but that looked really weird. We could spend the rest of our lives working in cybersecurity and still not know everything about routing, everything about switching, everything about buffer overflows, everything about static code analysis, everything about dynamic code analysis, everything about, you got to find something that excites you and you're passionate about and research the hell out of it, is what you're saying.
Heck yeah.
But we do still need to know a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
And the way I keep up is because of my friends that I hang out with. My friends that are posting new things on LinkedIn that I haven't looked up, posting new things on
and how do you have the time to
media.
read all this? Like, how do you, someone will send me an article like, damn, that looks like a good article, but that looks like a 20-minute read. I don't have 20 minutes right now. I'm going to bookmark that and read that later. And 22 years later, you're going through your bookmarks and you're like, oh, I never read that.
Look at those 50 million articles I didn't read.
Even with Pocket. I do want to say this. This is very random. I do want to say this. 20 years ago, I sold my first company, NetStream, and Jacob Kobinski, who's in the chat right now, was one of my first employees, and I just want to give a shout out to him. I was 20 years old when he and I met.
That's amazing.
In the chat right now, I'm like, oh my God, is that Jacob Kobinski, like Netstream Jacob Kobinski? Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to give a shout out to him. Thanks for joining us, Jacob. Love you, buddy. It's been too long. Definitely. Thanks for joining us. All right, sorry. Okay, those are great suggestions. I do want to mention, someone brought this up. The live stream this week I said was going to be about me building a rogue BTS for connected car hacking. That is still happening. I just wanted to do this special impromptu episode about breaking into the cybersecurity industry if you don't currently work in cybersecurity. So, or IT in general. So that episode is still happening. It's going to be airing this week. So if you're planning or interested in learning about hacking connected cars, that's a great episode to watch. It will be airing this week. So no, this is not replacing that episode. Just want to let everyone know. And I promise no audio problems. But that's it. I guess that is our show for today. And this is Alyssa Knight. And I want to apologize to everybody about the audio problems. I promise to have them fixed next episode. I'm going to blame Mike Kernow on our audio problems because it's just so easy to blame Mike Kernow. Mike Kernow is easy to blame, and he takes it like a champ. He's okay with it. It doesn't seem to actually affect his ego. Like his the whole male machismo kind of it doesn't emasculate him. It's a great thing. Thank you, Mike, for allowing me to blame you for everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame COVID-19 on you. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you letting loose COVID-19 onto the world.
It's all me.
I could blame
Someone's gonna take that.
Yeah, this is true. Well, look, I'm gonna have you guys back. Nia, you're my new bestie. You're amazing. Yeah. You're my spirit animal. You're gonna be a new permanent guest on this show. Mike, Nia, Chris, thank you for being guests on the show.
You.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guests. We will see you in the next episode of Knight TV.